I'm Susan Dunlop, life coach. Today I just wanted to share a short story that I was introduced to, and it's about the spinners and the sailors. You know, it's those times when you felt like you might be spinning in place and going nowhere fast. So it's a story I found in a book that came as a lesson at just the right time, as you know, those lessons often do. That saying is, you know, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And it's a really good lesson. It was written in the form of a parable. And now it's something I read into my coaching clients who are maybe stuck or spinning in the one spot that, you know, they've got a goal that they wanted to work towards, but they just can't go through some barrier that's left them spinning. You might be able to recall too a time when you've been spinning in place, or you might be spinning in place right now. So that's why I thought, why have a lesson that I've learnt that I can't actually then share with someone else? So that's the point of this short clip today. So, you know, before I share the lesson, just letting you know too, that once you actually have heard it, you'll very easily identify in yourself and in other people that you have in your life, in work as well, or even your clients or customers, times that you or they are being a spinner or a sailor. So, you know, as the thing is that goes with coaching, there's a ripple effect. So once you actually learn something, you know, you might be able to help someone else who you can see is in a bit of a spin. So I think that's a pretty good thing. I think right now it's the right time to be sharing what we need to be sharing. So it's actually from a book called Brendan Burchard's Parable, Life's Golden Ticket. And in it, he shares in one chapter a story being told by Squirt. And Squirt's the bumper boat operator at a fair or a show where there's all the Ferris wheels and all that sort of thing. So I'll just take you through the story. It's not long. So Squirt said there are two kinds of kids when it comes to bumper boats. There are the spinners and there are the sailors. And the sailors are the kids who hop into the boat and head for open water. You know, they're the explorers. They've got a dream and they set out for it. They're the dreamers and the doers. They know exactly where they want to go. And no matter what bumps into them, they get there because they keep steering in that direction. And they're the ones you'll hear screaming, "Get out of my way." You know, the sailors are the vocal ones about what they want. And once the sailors get to the other side, they'll come back and have fun bumping other boats because that's part of the game as well. So when Squirt blows his whistle, letting everyone know time is up, the sailors always end up on the other side of the pool from where they started. And they gladly hop out of their boats because they got what they wanted. They got their goal and they got to have fun bumping other boats. And then Squirt in the story, he stops and he scans the pool and he points out a little boy spinning in a circle. He said, then you've got the spinners. And the spinners, well, actually, they start just like the sailors. They also want to head for open water, but as soon as everyone gets going, the spinners quickly realise there are a lot of other people in the pool. They realise how hard it is to steer. So the spinner does something unique. The spinner makes an assumption. It's hard to steer my boat without bumping into other people, so I won't be able to make it to the other side. And spinners give up quickly. They say, well, I guess I can't make it to the other side, so I'll just have fun here by myself and spin. They might even bump into a few people. But they do something that's entirely unhelpful to their original goal and everyone else's goal as well. And they spin in one place, bumping and blocking everyone from getting to the other side without even knowing it. So most of the time, spinners spin quietly. And then Squirt says again, when he blows his whistle for everyone to stop, they're the last ones to dock, and they're almost always disappointed with their ride. So that little short few paragraphs is from page 124 of Life's Golden Ticket. I purchased it online. You can get it from Brendan Burchard's website, lifesgoldenticket.com. And I just found it was a really interesting chapter of that book that made me realise the times when I was trying to actually move forward with goals, and I realised that I was in a spin and I had to work out what it was. And often it will be a fear that is getting in my way, or there's a bit of self-sabotage sometimes too, I think, comes up for many of us. So if you ever felt yourself spinning in place, that's why I shared that story. When do you spin and when are you sailing? You might always be a sailor, you might always be a spinner. But for me, it came up this week because I think part of the never-ending story of COVID, in the year we're having when we're not living a year, or the year we thought we would, I've got unfinished projects. So I set myself up with a lot of projects. It's just, I've got quite a few goals that, taking this life coaching practice up to a higher level. Obviously, it's only been going for a few years since I exited my last company. But, I've got projects, and someone pointed out to me yesterday that they're just loose ends and they're keeping me in my mind again. And I can feel that. I can feel that I'm not feeling in flow. I'm shoulding all over myself. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. And then it's unhelpful. And it was good. It made me stop. And so I got out of my head and I got into my scheduler, and I've now given myself some a bit more tighter boundaries, because me working alone, I actually work with quite loose boundaries now, which is quite nice compared to my old days. And I can set my own agenda. But, sometimes, I need that accountability as well. So that was good yesterday, talking to a mentor who pulled me back into that space. So I've got a book I'd like to close out writing and get it to publication. I've got a set of advanced modules of a course that I'm trying to close out on. I've only got 5 questions left, but there's no end date. So I've now set myself the end date for those 5 questions. And so I've got a few. I'm like you. I'm like everyone else. So that's where the story came from today. And there's plenty of ways to become more productive and more motivated. And, I know you're going, yeah, I know, like I do. So what is it that's standing in your way if you are in a spin situation? How do you personally get back on track to sail to the destination? Maybe it's that you've got an obstacle that's in the way, and that's often where we start with coaching. You'll talk about, what are your goals? What are the main obstacles? What's happening right now? And coming up with some strategies. So, there's, you and me, we all know that there are possibilities or options that we have. So as I said in my last clip about Feather Brick Truck, I know that there's always choices. But for most of people, it is fear that's getting in the way. And we get so stuck in that space that we think there's no way out. So how would it feel without that challenge? Without that main obstacle, what are the possibilities that are open to you? And like me, maybe it's today that you would like to stop and think. Or hey, you're welcome to anyone's welcome to take advantage of the free clarity call that I offer on my Facebook and all the social media. Just for a quick brainstorm with me. I'm non-judgmental. I'm not in your life, so I can be that person out there just happy to listen while you talk, and then maybe that will actually allow the brain to bridge the gap that opens you up to finding a solution. So thank you for listening this morning, and I hope you got something from this shared lesson. Until next time, take care. Thank you.